Yes, hello everyone. I started with no players, no contact, and no network as an agent when you get a license. So I understand your situation. So today we're going to be breaking down how you can sign your first player and also move on from there. I know this is a situation that most agents come across, and today I'm going to be giving you an exact method I used to go from unknown at least to having a player signed in my agency. Okay, in this video, we're going to be talking about how I found my first player, how you build trust with parents and coaches, how I position myself as a real agent, and how I try to build a lot of network with clubs. Okay, if you are in this situation, get a pen and paper, and then so that we can speak more on this. So, here's the problem. The problem is most agents these days only focus on online. You don't go to watch games. You never go to watch games. You never go to, let's take for example, to the scout players. Let's take for example, I always give an example like myself. I used to drive 2 hours something just to watch a team train. Because if there's no if you don't have a professional team by where you live, you can always move or drive to the nearby city if you have one there. Or you can also start with amateurs and try to discover hidden gems from there, because most players who are elite players also these days pass from amateurs. So there's not always excuse, as many people always say. So start working from somewhere to build yourself. And as I said, most agents, you never show up in games. How are you going to know the players, their playing styles, and all the systems? So it's always good to always go and watch games. That's the next problem. It's always good to go and watch games so that you discover the players, how they play, so that you can know what you're doing. Then you can pitch yourself there. And the next thing I always see also, most agents always focus on when they get their license, they focus on contacts, not even relationship. Behind every football agent or every football player, there's also a human being there. So I think the relationship is very important, that you have to know how to build relationship with parents and family so that it can help you. So do not focus just on contact and forget the human being behind that, because sooner or later they are going to discover that this person is just here for the money and doesn't care about our well-being. So it's always very important that you focus on the relationship with the family, the parents of the player. Look after the player as if it was your own kid or your own brother. Try to invest time in, ask about his well-being. It's not just about the contract. Try to build a certain relationship with the player so that it becomes easy, so that you can communicate naturally. So as I said, the problem is most agents focus just on contact. And also, most agents don't build long-term plan. For example, you meet a player and you just want to take him that, okay, go and sign in this club because you have a contact there, not just thinking, not looking at where the player can fit in. And when he goes to that club, he end up sitting on the bench because he doesn't fit the philosophy of the team. So most of the time, you have to always look at what the player is, what are the characteristics of a player, where the player can fit in. I know as upcoming agent, you just want to get your player signing a contract to play somewhere, but the most important thing is you have to build your network a lot so that you know where to fit your players. So those are few tips that I can give you, and let's look at also some basic solutions that you can start applying today so that you can get ahead of other 99 agents or 99% of agents. Okay, so the first thing I would say is, if you're an agent, go to the field first. Start by watching local players in your in matches and in trainings. In training, no shortcuts to this. Start leaving your house. That just by watching, if it's amateur leagues, it's going to motivate you to move and start watching pro leagues. So anywhere in your country, because there's also in every country there's a professional league. So what you can do is, when you get a license, start just moving around to watch games. Yeah, and then go watch training session. When you watch training session, try to pitch yourself. That's the first way, because not how many people know your agent in your city. How many people know your agent? Probably you and your family know that, and maybe your friends. So how does the world know you're an agent? So you have to move around, talk to clubs and coaches. Also, you're going to at the beginning it's going to be difficult because you are in an industry that there's a lot of population. But once you start speaking to people, you realize that you get the motivation not to that when they said no, you move to the next club. There are thousands of clubs out there, and if one says no, 999 are still waiting for you. So that's how the business is. Even the elite agent like the Mino Raola and the George Mendes, Jonathan Ban, P. Zahavi, a lot of all these top agents I'm calling. Remember, they all started from scratch, and if you build your network from scratch, in few years you're also going to be an elite agent. The thing is what you do with the time you have. So that's the first thing I would say to you guys. And also the next thing is scout before you speak. Try to go watch the player, know the characteristics of a player, as I said before. And also, when you're speaking, you speak with evidence. So, for example, if I have to go and say a player to a team, I try to, let's say if they're looking for a winger and I have that winger, I have to know his characteristics. Can he fit into the system of that team? Because then when you're pitching yourself to the sporting director, you have a point to say. For example, you can say, okay, you press with the high line and the front three do certain kind of runs. This the player I have here is already used to this because the system they play is almost the same like your team. So thereby the sporting director actually know that this guy is actually very well educated on what he's doing, and he's going to actually help facilitate, and he's going to believe you more that when next time if he needs a player he can rely on you. But for example, if you just call and say you have a striker that scored 30 goals a season with no proof or evidence that you have actually watched or done your homework, it's going to be like millions of messages they receive every day, so that it's just going to be dumped on the dustbin. Okay. So next one, as I said, add real value before you speak. That's another thing. So try to always provide value by proving that you know what you're doing. Also, go watch games, talk to build your relationship with coaches, and also and all those kind of things. It's going to only help you in the future. The thing with networking or this industry is that when you always start, you feel like as if why are you wasting your time? But the reality about with human beings is that the more you visit a place, the more the people who don't even take note of you. If you visit 2 times, for example, they say, that guy was here yesterday. There he's again watching. You come the third day, the club now becomes used to you, and you can start interacting. They feel like almost okay. They feel like okay, he's coming here. He's almost like one of us because he enjoys what we're doing. So, face-to-face network, I would say, is very important than sitting behind your laptops and trying to call thousands of sporting directors, waiting for them to answer, and you don't get any call. Of course, you have to try that, but if you don't get, try to go face-to-face. Okay, so this is just what I had for you guys today, and hope you got an idea of how I started. Okay, how I started also, so you can also start like that by moving around, pitching yourself, and also building your network from scratch. It's going to help you a lot when you build from scratch. Also, it's also going to give you a lot of power to do more when you start something. The feeling when you sign your first player is just going to keep motivating you that you can do this more and more. So that's just the idea. Keep going, and as long as you stay consistent, it's going to happen. You're going to become an elite agent. Okay, take care guys, and drop me a message if you find this video necessary. Drop a message, and also then I'll answer later. Talk to you tomorrow, and see you in another video. Cheers.